He wrote Blade Runner, then he wrote Logan, and then he did American Gods. He did all of that in 1 year. And Brian Fuller was doing Star Trek Discovery, as I recall. He just finished doing Hannibal, and so he was doing Star Trek Discovery and American Gods at the same time. So when we got a call that these were the showrunners, we were like, yeah, let's go do that. That sounds awesome. That's a good idea. So,
I want to know these people.
Exactly, along with Neil Gaiman. So I was like, Ricky, I was on Twitter because the fans threw our names out, and I tweeted Neil Gaiman. I was like, yep, you should definitely hire me to be Mr. Nancy. That's an excellent idea, Mr. Gaiman. And then he liked it and retweeted it, and I was like, oh. What? And then didn't nobody call me, and then wasn't what I was hoping for. And then I got a phone call from Margie Simpkin, the casting director, and she was like, hey, I'd like to talk to you about this thing called American Gods. And I was like, are you joking, lady? Did you not see me on social media? And she was like, I don't do social media, but let me explain this show to you. And then they proceeded to try and describe to me a character called Anansi that has been in my life since I was a little boy in Alabama, because my grandparents used to read me Anansi the Spider stories, which is how I found Anansi the book, right? So now I'm on the phone with the casting director trying to tell me who Anansi is, and I'm like, this white lady done lost her mind. Like, I mean, I'm from Alabama, I'm not the smartest bulb in the world, but I know who the hell Anansi is, lady. And she introduced me to Michael and Brian, and then I met Ricky, and here we are. We answered one question 15 minutes into this.
20 minutes into
What else you got in there, Wes?
If you could play another character on this show, who would it be?
Bill Cosby.
That would be really interesting to see where people went.
Who are you? Who'd you be?
Who would I be?
Yeah. Listen, think about it. We got nothing but time.
Well, sure. No, I'll be easy. That's just weird.
No, I can't. I mean, I get it though, because Chris doesn't make it.
Yeah, she is awesome. No, to be honest, I would probably, the one I would like to go to is because my grandma is Irish, would be Matt Sweeney. So,
yeah.
like when I grew up and she's from Dublin, I actually used to talk like that all the time. And like, I used to go back to Manchester and see all my friends, and I was like, why you talk like that? You've been there a week. I don't know what you're talking about.
It's like when Madonna had that English accent all of a sudden. You were like, what the hell is going on with the Material Girl? Why she got an accent all of a sudden? It was very strange. You remember that? That was super strange. Suddenly she had a British accent, she was adopting black kids. I was like, I don't understand what's happening in the world right now. Very strange.
It was exactly like that. So, yeah, my dad was in the Royal Air Force, so I moved around every 3 years, and so my accent was always drifting very quickly. It's kind of like a self-defense thing as a kid. You kind of assimilate as quickly as possible. It's a subconscious thing. But it also gave me a good ear for accents. And so when I did go to places, I would pick up the accent very quickly. And I go to London on Monday and watch the abuse I get. Oh my God, they're precious. Oh, anytime I go back, they're like, oh my God, like, you forgot your roots. Oh, don't forget where you come from. Why'd you sound like American? I don't know why they sound like, they don't sound like that, but I'm just doing a great voice. My normal voice is my go-to voice when I'm trying to is Valley Girl. Like, I have no idea why.
Yeah.
But I like don't scared of this voice.
He does. That's his voice.
I can't even. What, finish a sentence? Finish a sentence!
True.
But yeah, so they give me abuse for sounding American. But obviously you guys go, but he's British. But to them, yeah, it just depends where I'm at. I kind of, what, was there a question?
Since when have we needed a question?
What's the biggest challenge in playing your roles?
The biggest challenge? Listen, nobody can be serious on the set because Ricky is out of his mind. Ricky practical jokes everybody. I walked into a trailer and it was Moose's trailer. And Ricky had wallpapered Moose's entire trailer with pictures of Ricky.
You're welcome.
Floor, walls. He opened up the toilet seat. There was Ricky. The refrigerator. It's ridiculous. So Ricky is absolutely the practical joker. I would say the challenge with Mr. Nancy is because he came through the Middle Passage as a character, and because he's a Ghanaian character, his accent is connected to all of his worshipers. And his worshipers are the people who obviously live on the islands, people who live in the Deep South. So his accent often floats to Southern, to Island, to African. So you can hear certain things he says and identify that he is speaking from the soul of those worshipers. So he will occasionally shift, and in that, keeping those accents together, because there are about 10 of them, while you're talking is probably the biggest challenge. I don't know, he has the hardest job though, because he's around all these big, huge, flamboyant characters, but the story is told from Shadow Moon's point of view. And also he has to pretend he doesn't know what's going on all the time. So acting range-wise, it's like you take away all the fun stuff. And he's trying to figure out what's happening. So I feel like the hardest job on the show as an actor is definitely Ricky, and we get to play. Right? Yeah. You don't know what I'm talking about right now. That's Shadow Moon. The whole season, all Mr. Nancy does is go, what the hell is wrong with you? Are you ignorant, boy? Can't you figure out what's happening? Because he got that face right there. Just pretty and dumb.
One of these is true. No, I'm not pretty dumb. I mean, he talks to Shadow like that.
No, he does talk to Shadow.
No, it's a great dynamic this year. You kind of see a lot of relationships evolve this year, and see all the dynamics kind of shift, and it's a very interesting thing that we've got kind of going on where Nancy starts pushing Shadow's buttons for various reasons, and normally you'd be like, you're lying, Sanchez, I went straight to
He went to the Valley Girl again.
Oh my God, why you gotta be so mean?
This is when my inner white girl Olivia comes out and starts talking to him. You're tripping, seriously. Why are you even doing that? It's completely boring. No one wants to see it.
Oh my God.
No, seriously, no one.
They're still talking. Oh my God.
I'm so over him and everything.
No, but I guess my biggest challenge is if you know the book, she's so two-faced. She always smiling in my face and like, that bitch, oh my God. What you saying, girl?
I really can't believe you used the B word right now. I'm gonna let that go, but seriously, you need to slow it down, honey. Slow it down.
Slow your roll. Oh yeah, that's what you're saying. But yeah, obviously, if those of you who know the book, some people just watch the show. We love you both. But if you know the book, you know that a lot of Shadow stuff is in an internal monologue. And Neil Gaiman writes these incredible, pages of just description of what Shadows think. That's what Shadow thought, and then he thought again, maybe not. That's what he did there, and he goes through his whole thing. So you get the whole thought process of what Shadow's kind of experiencing and seeing and feeling. We can't do that in the show as much, and so my biggest challenge is to really speak without speaking, and so it's all in Shadow's mannerisms, in his looks, and his thought process, and in the world, like in real life, but when you're acting, sometimes you can switch off, because sometimes, you don't have to think all the time, you don't have to be, paying attention all the time. There's people in here who are just like switched off as soon as I start speaking. You'll be having a conversation with someone, and then all of a sudden you'll be like thinking, oh, smeg, I forgot I need to get some bread later on. Or who's that? Yes, you see what I mean? But with Shadow, you can't afford that, because we're looking at this story through Shadow's eyes, and if I allow Shadow to turn off, it allows the audience to turn off. And so my biggest challenge is to kind of remain focused and engaged in everything that everyone's saying and everything that's happening around him. So that's possibly my largest.
We got a couple of questions over there.
Wait.